it today. So it's funny because I've been practicing saying your name, and I still see the last part. I thought I had it because I had a teacher whose last name was Caballeros. Well,
No,
see,
that's the name of our factory. So it's
okay,
Caballero.
Caballero. Oh yeah, and see she kept trying to tell me how to say it, and I still didn't get it right.
Because
So,
the eyes are silent, so it's Caballeros. Almost you don't even pronounce them in Spanish.
okay, okay. So you are a small boutique brand in Toronto, correct?
No, no, we are in the Dominican. I live in Toronto and I live in the Dominican Republic.
Okay, so how long have you been in business?
Well, I've been in the cigar business for almost 30 years. The
Okay.
factory is a newer cigar. We just opened it up like almost a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
My partner had an existing factory. We met and we did some things and we collaborated on it and we decided to open up a factory.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been in the business quite a long time, and so have I.
Okay, so what made you want to just go in a year ago and decide this is what you're going to dedicate doing with your time?
Well, we were working for a year before that, and
Mhm.
we had introduced which this is our brand here. This is the Canadian label. Um, I did send you some cigars. I hope you received them.
No, I hadn't gotten them yet, so hopefully
Ah,
they'll be coming soon.
because I would have loved to have the interview after you had smoked them, just so you could
Yeah.
tell me what you thought.
Oh, well, we can arrange that too.
I love that. So where were we again? You were asking
So
me.
yeah, so I was asking you. So you said that previous to opening up the factory a year ago, you had already been in existence a year before that.
We were the brand was already there. We were collaborating on a lot of products and stuff. I just love the business, enjoy it. Um, I say to myself, I'm sick in the head. I should relax and start retiring, but I'm not. Maybe that's what keeps me going every day. Um, but yeah, no, it's just fun. I mean, we've been in the business so long. It's fun blending. Coming up with cigars, trying to come up with very good cigars. It's always it's a process. It's not just you make a cigar and there you go. I mean, it takes time.
Mhm.
The tobaccos have to be right. They have to blend right. And I count on all that with my partner because he's a master at this. He's been doing it for almost 40 years.
Mhm.
He's had a factory for almost about 10 now. He's worked for a lot of the big guys, Leona Menes, Palma. So he has paid his dues, and it'd be fun maybe to have him on an interview next time. He doesn't speak English, but if you want to do a little bit in Spanish.
Yeah, I would love that. I can do the translation. I'll have my phone and have translation going on. So
Okay.
how did you and your partner get together? Like, how did that collaboration happen? I'm assuming you all already knew each other through the cigar industry.
Actually, we were introduced. I've been going to the Dominican for almost 30 years also.
Mhm.
So I've been going there a lot. During COVID, I was there all the time, months at a time and stuff. So I'd be going to the factory and we'd be, talking and blending and doing stuff. And we were still doing some business. I was getting them to send some cigars to Canada. Our label has been around probably almost now for about a year.
Mhm.
Um, it's a really good cigar. A lot of people like it. We love the blends. We have a Maduro and a Connecticut.
Mhm.
We're introducing the Habano. Probably within the next month, we're going to ship it to the U.S. We have started to sell in the U.S.
Mhm.
So it's a process.
Mhm. So what has been the hardest part of getting the cigars? Because if you're primarily in the Dominican Republic, what's the hardest part in translating that over into the States?
Well, I mean, it's a process. You have to know a little bit about the industry. I was
Mhm.
at the TPA. I had a few meetings with a couple of distributors. Um, We went with one, Elysion. I'm not sure if you know them.
Mm-hmm.
They have a bunch of brands, really nice guys down there in Reno, Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
So we shipped our cigars out there, and now we're in the process of distributing them. We have a couple of stores that are going to carry them, and so it's just a process. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we don't right now we don't have a ton of cigars,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not like I need a 50-man sales force. It's
Mm-hmm.
very limited. What we're doing is we've been making so many cigars, and they sit and they have to age. So there's a process. You know, how long do you want them to sit for? You know, you have to make them, then they sit, because we don't want to put out a product that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, great. We want to, I'd say great, but great means, there's a lot involved in great, right? But
Right.
it's a very good product.
Mm-hmm. So you were saying that you retired like from your 9 to 5 job, and now this is what you're going to do in your
No, no,
retirement?
I go to I've been going to the Dominican. I'm doing other stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
We have a store here in Toronto that we've been selling the product out of for a while, and there's
Mm-hmm.
a couple other stores that have been carrying it. No, so I'm involved in the industry. I'm not
Okay.
retired.
Okay.
I say semi-retired, which means instead of working maybe 80 hours a week, I work 70. But I don't know. I think I've been working more now than when I was a lot younger.
That's funny because I retired 2 years ago, and I feel like I'm working more now than I did 2 years ago before I retired. And everyone says the same thing. Why don't you just go back and get a regular job? I'm like, oh no, I couldn't do that.
I think retirement's just a term that we all use. I think as we go along, we start to find what we like and dislike and want to do. And so
Mhm.
we say we're kind of retired, but we're really actually working probably harder than when we were working.
Right, right.
Because I
So
can see you're very busy. I was looking at some of your stuff and I love it, by the way.
thank you, thank you. So when you started the process of creating your cigar, did you have in mind what you wanted? Was it based off of your taste, or did you go with what the market was dictating?
A little bit of both. I told them the type of cigar that I thought we should bring into the market right now, in terms of for the Connecticut, and even the Maduro. And we did some blends. They came out really good. I mean, we have a lot of cigars. We're just launching these cigars because you can launch 50 different cigars, but you need to kind of put your efforts into a few to make them more successful, that
Mm-hmm.
people start to know your brand before
Mm-hmm.
you start to launch other cigars. I mean, we have a lot of different cigars, a lot of different blends. um, Christian Quintana, which is my partner, he's a master blender. The guy's amazing. He um he um he works with what he has, because in the cigar world, sometimes you don't have the deep pockets of the big guys, and you
Mm-hmm.
can't afford to buy certain tobaccos that they get their hands on and stuff. But so you have to be able to work with what you have, and which he does, and he
Mm-hmm.
knows how to blend it, and he's always testing it. So we have a lot of cigars, but we're focusing on our three core cigars, which is the Habano, the Connecticut, and the Maduro.
Okay. And so when you come up when he comes up with the blend, do you try each cigar as the blend as he comes up with the blend to make sure that it is what you like? And has there ever been a time that it's like, nope, that's not it, and you have to start all over?
Yes, I do give my input, but right now we've these blends that we've had them for a while, for about a
Mm-hmm.
year now, except for the Habano. We wanted to introduce the Habano, so because of the market, a lot of people really love the Habano. And what happened was, we had different shades of the Habano. So when I
Mm-hmm.
was there last time, we went out looking for the color that we wanted of the shade of the Habano wrapper,
Mm-hmm.
because you can make it a light Habano cigar. You can make it a dark Habano cigar. And we decided to go with the darker Habano cigar,
Okay.
which maybe on one of these interviews, when we launch it, I'll send it to you and you can try it.
Oh, I would love to do that. So have you found, like, when you say you don't have a huge sales force, so I'm assuming that you and your partner are going out doing like taste tests, I guess, with the lounge owners or distributors. So have you found that when you decided to go with the darker leaf, were they receptive to that?
We have not introduced the Habano, if that's what you're talking about. The
Okay.
Maduro, we have had a lot of retailers test the Maduro and the Connecticut,
Mhm.
and they really do like it. We just actually really started in the US. So I was out there about 2 weeks ago in the PA area,
Mhm.
and give it to a whole bunch of retailers. And they tried it because I'm not all about handing out cigars. I want to give you a cigar, but I want you to try it because
Mhm.
like you go to the shows and everybody's just getting boxes, getting tons of cigars, and they just put them by the wayside. For me, I'd rather give you a cigar. I want you to try. Give me your honest opinion.
Mhm.
And if you tell me it's crap, so be it, because you can't please everybody. But I want you to try my cigar. I don't want to just hand you a cigar and say, "Here's a cigar."
Right, right.
And
So
and, we, and
is
we've had great feedback. Sorry, and we've had some good feedback with that.
and that's good. So is your Maduro, because I know a lot of Maduros are very, very heavy and very full. So how would you describe your Maduro?
You know, when I described it, I put it as a medium full. If you go on
Okay.
our website, but I've had some guys try it, and they're telling me, Mark, it's not full. It's medium, and it's even kind of mild. And I'm smoking one right now,
Hmm.
and I think this one I'm smoking it, and I just finished having a Connecticut, and it's still in the morning for me because I haven't had lunch. I find it medium. I think what's happening is, I guess, the cigar is aging and it's
Hmm.
becoming milder, because I find that that's what will happen with cigars
Hmm.
as you go along. A lot of the rough edges seem to kind of disappear, and they seem to get milder as opposed to stronger.
Hmm.
And that's my opinion. I mean, all the experts have all their own opinions on stuff, but you know, we could have 10 people sitting here, and we could have, so many different opinions. I remember one time when, and I won't mention the guy's name, and he was
Okay.
an expert, very well known, been in the business probably 50, 60 years.
Hmm.
And he said that, cigars don't age well. And I said, okay, well, I didn't say anything, but in my mind, I said, shit, I've been smoking cigars for so long that, I find that differently. I disagree with that.
Right, right.
So, I mean, but who am I to disagree with an expert?
Of course. Right.
But you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
all it's all preference, right?
It's
You,
all
you,
right
you try
because
stuff. And,
exactly, exactly. Because when I find that when people say, "Oh, it's a full body cigar," it also has to do with whether you have eaten or you have not eaten, or had a full meal versus a snack, or versus what you're drinking. So I really do think that fullness is based off of what your preference is. I have just started getting into Maduros, and I'm finding that I never thought I would smoke a Maduro, because people keep saying, "Oh, they're real heavy, they're real full." But I find that I am really enjoying them. So I can't wait to get yours so I can smoke that and tell you, how I reacted to it. So what is the hardest part in being in the cigar industry, being I don't want to say new cigar in the industry, but what is different now versus 2 3 years ago?
for us, or for what you asked. So for
For
for the hardest part right now for us is getting it out there, and
Mhm.
getting people to try it, and then making up their own mind.
Mhm.
Um, but and versus 3 years ago, I mean, there was no 3 years ago. We just kind of started with
Mhm.
this, so that's kind of the hardest part for us. But one thing that you had said earlier about the Maduro, see, the industry's always been changing. I've been retail for a while, so I had access to a lot of everybody's cigars. And the old rule of thumb in the old days used to be a lighter shade cigar, and sorry, a lighter shade cigar would mean it's mild, and a darker shade cigar would mean it's stronger. But
Mhm.
everybody, people that making cigars, the companies have realized that that shouldn't be the rule. That
Right.
people should have access to a Maduro, and make it either blend it the way you want to blend it, whether that be mild, medium, or full.
Mhm.
So, which is a very good thing, because like in your case, you got to try some Maduros and like them.
Right. Exactly. So you have the three, well, going to have three when you introduce the Habano. So are you looking at expanding that line even further, or are you just going to focus on the three that you're going to have out?
Both. We're focusing on that now because we need to get our brand out there. And there's no sense making all these other, all these other cigars. For instance, I have a Connecticut shade cigar that's really full bodied, but
Mm-hmm.
that'll be introduced in the future. Right now, we just want to get our cigars out there, let people try them,
Mm-hmm.
experience them. They're very good cigars. And then build a company as we go along. And there's
Mm-hmm.
no sense introducing 20 different brands when people are not going to get a chance to try the 3 core brands we have.
Right, right. So do they sell very well in the Dominican?
We have not been selling them in the Dominican. We sell other cigars in the Dominican, but we have not been selling our line yet. We
Okay.
don't. We were selling it in Canada only.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we started selling it, I think last week. We just got our shipment in the U.S. and,
Okay.
and the response that we got in Canada was very well.
Okay. So when you look at lounges, are you looking or lounges and or cigar shops? Are you looking to be in the larger shops or are you focusing on the smaller shops for now?
Well, I want to put my cigar everywhere. But see, the thing about the larger shops is, or the shops that are more established, they don't want to give the boutique brands a chance.
Mm-hmm.
They figure everybody's going to come in and they all, they want to buy a Fuente, a Davidoff, a Padron, and which is good. But
Mm-hmm.
you know what? Sometimes some people, and there's some people I am collaborating with in our network, and they're all over boutique brands because they're new, they're different. And you know what? If you want to try the same old thing every day, great. But if you want to try something a little different, well, then you try a boutique brand. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you give it a try, and then you see if you like it or you dislike it. But you give it a try.
Mm-hmm. What do you say to people that say is like want to compare your cigar to a Davidoff or Oliva? Like, what do you say to those people?
I say give it a try. I say we have a pretty good product. Being in the industry so long, I don't say, wow, we're amazing because, it's all subjective.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm smoking this Maduro and it's so smooth. Um, uh, the body is very mild. It's beautiful. I'm bad with notes, so
Mm-hmm.
forgive me if I don't start telling you notes because even though I've been smoking for 30 years, I'm really bad with notes. And it's embarrassing, but it's the truth.
Uh-huh.
Not everybody's palate can associate what they're smoking
Right.
and a lot of people just kind of maybe see what other people have said and said, oh yeah, that's this and this is that. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
find it so smooth right now, very mild. I think I'm going to have to change my opinion of it from a mild to full to maybe just a high mild to a medium,
Okay.
depending on your palate.
So what cut do you normally like on your cigars?
I'm starting to fall in love with the V cut. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure if you see that now. I never was, but I've been cutting it with the V. We've been cutting all the customers at the store with a V, and everybody
Mm-hmm.
seems to fall in love with it. It's just
Uh-huh.
it's replaced the bullet cut for me because
Okay.
I'm a wet smoker.
Okay.
So my cigars will start to fall apart after a while,
Mm-hmm.
and it just seems with the V cut it stays intact a lot longer.
Mm-hmm. I tried the V cut probably about 2 months ago, and I have begun to really like the V cut. I find that it gives me more of the essence of the smoke, which I like because it feels and it flows over my palate in such a way that I'm like, man, I've been missing out. And I was normally just going with a straight guillotine cut. And I was like, okay, that was great. But now I feel like I've been missing out. So I've been doing V cut and I alternate between V cut and the straight guillotine cut. Have you found that a lot of women are enjoying your cigars?
To be honest with you, I haven't really had a lot of women have not bought our cigars because our shop is more men oriented. We do have women,
Mm-hmm.
but what I love, since we've started to launch this cigar and I've had to do different research, what I do love is that there's a lot of women out there smoking. And
Mm-hmm.
that's really exciting because over the years there's been a smaller percentage, but I think it's changed. And you probably know better than me. I mean, it used to be maybe 10 5 to 10 5 to 10% women, excuse me, But now I think you're probably into about the 25% range. It's
Yeah.
really climbing, which is really good.
Yeah, I find that um I think the numbers were so low at first because women didn't want to admit that they were smoking the cigars, and because a lot of men can't accept that a woman would enjoy a cigar. But now I feel that we are coming into our own little community, and we can see that it's so accepted by the people in lounges that we go to. So when we pick up a cigar, especially when you're in a male dominated place and you go in and you know exactly what you want, it's amazing to see the guy's face to say, oh, that's, oh wow, you actually know what you're talking about. So it's refreshing to see women coming out more and enjoying cigars, and I know I do. So when I and really enjoy a cigar, oh, it's when I find a cigar that I really like, I will be smoking that cigar almost every day, like at least 2-3 times a day, nonstop.
And to answer your question, I don't think there's any difference.
Yeah.
I think women like what men like. Some will like
Yes.
mild, some will like medium, some will like full bodied, some will like flavored. There's no real difference, I think.
Exactly.
It'd be great if a company could say, hey, you know what? I got the perfect women's cigar, but I don't think that exists.
Exactly. It's not, because there are no cigars made specifically for women. And it is sometimes people say, oh, well, they made flavored cigars for women. Actually, no, because when women first came into it, women were not smoking flavored cigars. We were smoking regular, cigars, and is no such thing, as you said, as a woman's cigar. So how many cigars would you say that you smoke in a day?
I don't smoke what I used to because I've been smoking for almost 30 years. My palate is changed. Plus, the difference is if I'm like, for instance, in the Dominican, I will smoke a lot more as when I'm in Canada
Mm-hmm.
because in Canada we're dealing with weather. I mean, right now it's really gloomy out here and stuff. Um, the air is drier. I find when I go to the Dominican, I'll be able to smoke 3, 4, 5 cigars a day, and it won't affect me as much. In
Mm-hmm.
Canada here, I'm maybe 1 or 2 cigars a day. I'm mainly smoking our cigars to analyze them. I mean,
Okay.
I've been smoking cigars for a long time, so I have a list of my top 3, 4, 5. And I've smoked a lot of cigars, and there's a lot of great companies out there making a lot of really good cigars.
Mm-hmm. So when you say you smoke cigars to analyze them, what are you looking for? Like, is it like a quality control type of smoke that you're doing?
Yes, how it smokes, for instance, see how that's smoking.
Is
Uh,
it
the
smoking beautifully?
It's smoking beautiful. It's smooth. Um, the flavor, the consistency of the flavor going along, trying to analyze to see how it's aging, how it's aging. Like if the cigar, because obviously if you smoke a cigar when it was just rolled the first week, you're going to get, more aromatics, you're going to get stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start going along, the cigar is going to start to change. You're going to start to get a true nature of it. I mean, my partner, he picks up right away just by smoking a cigar, just freshly rolled, because he's been
Mm-hmm.
doing it. That's been what he's been doing. And that's what a lot of the masters do. They know, like, just they'll turn around in the field and they'll turn around and burn the leaf, right? Just
Mm-hmm.
because they'll know, they want to burn that
Wow.
leaf because they'll know what it'll smoke like
Mm-hmm.
when they blend it in a cigar, and this is what they're doing. So they're not just putting tobaccos together and blending it. They're kind of smoking them individually and then putting them together to see how they blend.
Mm-hmm.
Because
It's
not
it's
not
almost like a
everything.
science.
They are very good at it. I'm just, to be honest, I'm just learning that end of the business now because I've never really been interested in it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I was interested in the basics, but not in that end of it. But I'm starting to learn that end of it, and it's fascinating. The fields, the,
Mm-hmm.
the the barns, the drawing, the drying of it, and all that stuff. Picking good wrappers, because you can go to 5 different people that sell wrappers or farmers, and they'll all be different, or different
Okay.
countries give you a different taste.
Right. It is so fascinating. I so enjoy talking to owners who cigar owners who get, like, hands on, like, and can tell me what it is like. It's not like you're sitting behind a desk and you don't really know what's happening. You all you know is you have the cigars, but you're like hands on with it, which I find very refreshing when I want to talk to somebody and it's like they can tell me that, you know, their other partner or whatever is in the fields and doing that, and how you're going basically behind the scenes now and you're enjoying that part of it. So do you foresee yourself getting that involved, that you'll be out in the fields and being able to then really be intricate with the wrappers and the binders and the fillers? And do you see that that's where you're going to
Yeah.
eventually want to do?
Yes, yeah. You know, on the last trip I was there, which I think was about a month ago, that's exactly what we did. We went out to see a whole bunch of, you know, we went out to the farmers and we bought some product that we liked from him. Beautiful product. We went out to some of the companies that sell tobaccos, because, you know, the big guys, they have more access to a lot of different things. So,
Mhm.
but we went out and we bought some tobaccos. We bought some Andreas wrapper. We went to buy some Ecuadorian Connecticut shade wrapper too. You know, and it's about sourcing, because you don't necessarily just buy from one person. You buy
Mhm.
a product that you think is going to make a better cigar for you,
Mhm.
because that's the whole idea. We're always trying to make a better and better cigar every day. We just don't want to. We don't want to sell a cigar, put our label on it that we don't think, that we're not going to stand behind it. I
Mhm.
mean, if we don't put our label on it, we sell it. You know, we're selling it because it's a good cigar, but it's not our product. You know,
Mhm.
I mean,
Right.
it's something that we don't want people to. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
I want
Yes.
them to be
Yeah.
excited about our cigar, because there's a lot more involved in the cigar with our label on it.
Right. So you're just not putting the cigar out there because you can. You're putting it out there because you want everyone to get that enjoyable experience that you have had with the cigars.
Yes.
So tell everyone where they can find, because can they find you online?
They can go to our website, Tabacalera, Caballeros, and you know, we're gonna start posting the retailers that are carrying our product. You know, have
Okay.
a star locator. You know, being in the business, we're trying to do a lot of the things that the big guys don't do as much. You know, store
Mhm.
locators, the boxes that we've introduced. I should have had some here. Are small, so that you know, they don't take up a lot of shelf space.
Mhm.
We're also going to be selling it in bundles, so that they can be replaced
Okay.
for the tobacconist,
Mhm.
so he can make a lot more margins on it. Because that's the idea, you know. They take a risk too. I mean, the tobacco stores out there, you know, they're in business, and you know, they need to make money, and it's not easy in some
Mhm.
cases. Some guys, you know, some guys are doing really well, and some of the companies are not.
Right. I cannot wait to get mine. And as soon as I get it, when I get the box, I'm gonna have my intern email you so we can do another interview so we can smoke together, and I can tell you exactly what I'm experiencing while I'm smoking it. So I can tell you the notes, since I'm really good at that part.
I look forward to that, because you know, everything is subjective. I mean, everybody's going to smoke a cigar, and there's not going to be one person who's going to tell you everything exactly the same.
Exactly, exactly. So I'm so glad that we got together today. And it's gloomy here too, here in Maryland. It's been raining for the last, it feels like 4 weeks, but it only been 4 days. But so
Yeah,
I haven't been able to sit outside to enjoy a cigar, but I do sit inside and still enjoy a cigar. So I now I'm gonna be stalking my mail person to find out where my cigar is at.
yeah. Let me know which one you like better. Or
I certainly will, and I cannot wait to get them. And I thank you for joining me today, taking the time. And it looks like it's a little chilly there too, so you're bundled up. So I'm glad
yeah,
that
you know, I'm unfortunately, I don't have a smoking room, so where I am right now, I'm at the house just enjoying a cigar with you, because I know about the interview and stuff, and
you. Mhm.
then I got to get back to work.
Yeah. So and sadly, I actually have to get to quote unquote work as well. But I'm glad that you enjoyed it, and I'm glad that we got to experience you smoking that cigar here on the interview, because I can see that it is smoking very cleanly, very evenly, and I even the smoke just seems very billowy and very soft. So
Yeah,
I can't wait to experience it.
it's very smooth. And like I was saying to you, I'm going to be in the DR next couple of weeks.
Mhm.
If you wanted to have an interview with Christian Quintana, I'd love that. character. You're gonna love his knowledge.
I certainly
And
will.
it'd be
I'm gonna
fun.
get that set up. I'm gonna get that set up so we can get that done because I really do want to talk to him as well.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, so I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday and enjoy the rest of that cigar. And I'm going to be watching my mailbox for mine.
You too. Can't wait for our next interview. Take care.
All righty. Bye
Bye.
bye.